Good afternoon. I've been trying to find a good time and place to tell this story. I wanted to tell it on Halloween, but I don't want people to hear me or see me telling the story. All right, so understand, I don't believe any of this is real anymore. You got that? I don't believe that any of this is real anymore. But I'm going to tell you as honestly and as accurately as I can how this happened. All right, so late 2001, maybe early 2002. Pretty sure it was late 2001 because my wife was there, so we weren't separated yet. So late 2001, I wake up in the middle of the night and there's this big blob beside the bed over here where my wife and I are sleeping, and I looked at it and I said, it was a big dark blob, by the way. I said, "Get out of my house." I wasn't exactly scared, but I didn't want this thing in my house. And it's standing right there by the bed looking at me. And so I said, "Get out of my house." And now, as a spirit-filled, tongue-talking Jesus freak, I expected it to just leave. And it didn't. So I did what any red-blooded Jesus freak would do. I said, "In the name of Jesus, get out of my house." And it just stood there. And I was like, okay, well, I just shot my best shot. Now what do I do? I just used up the baddest move of all my bad moves. Now and nothing changed. So what do I do? So I did what I was trained to do. I started praying in tongues very quietly because I didn't want to wake up the kids and I didn't want to wake up my wife, who was sleeping next to me. But I just started quietly praying in tongues, and a thought popped into my mind, and I said, out of my mouth, I said, "Perfect love casts out all fear." And this thing shrank down. It looked a lot like Dobby, the house elf, when that happened. And my wife said, "I thought that in my mind right as you said it." I was like, "Oh, okay." Because apparently I'd woken her up. But this thing shrank down to like the size of Dobby, the house elf, and it looked a lot like that. Big surprise, right? And I said, "In the name of Jesus, get out of my house." And it ran through the wall right behind my head. And it ran to the edge of the driveway. Well, first it ran out the wall and hid behind the trash can. And this is all behind my head outside the house. And I said, no, I can still see you. And I was giggling. And I said, "I can still see you." And my property line begins at the edge of my driveway, something like that. I said, get off my property." And it walked, and remember, I'm facing the other way. It's the middle of the night. It walked to the edge of my property and started walking back and forth in front of my driveway, kind of pouting like a little kid, like kicking rocks and stuff like that. And it was doing that when I fell asleep. Now, that is honestly and truly the way it happened. And people ask me, "Well, Dean, how can you not believe anymore when you've had tons of experiences like that?" And I said, I'm not going to go through all the reasons I no longer believe in any kind of God or anything supernatural whatsoever. But there are some things I don't have answers for. And I've gotten very comfortable over the last nearly 8 years with the phrase, I don't know. Happy Halloween. Have a great night.